Okay, good morning, everyone. Today is the second day of the month of Nisan. Don't forget to say the Nasi. And today we begin a new chapter in Tanya, chapter 38, Perek Lamed Ches. In today's lesson, mitzvahs are not to rectify the soul. The soul is a portion of Hashem. It needs no rectification. Rather, they're performed through action and speed to draw down godly light into the body. Nevertheless, a mitzvah must be performed with kavanah and with soulful dedication. Even though the soul doesn't need any help, but still the soul needs to be involved in the mitzvah. Perek Lamed Ches. In light of all that's been said above concerning the virtue of performance of mitzvahs, particularly the action-based mitzvahs that we talked about, one will clearly understand the halachic decision expressed in the Talmud and the Shulchan Aruch, that meditation is not valid in lieu of verbal articulation. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to think the mitzvah. You got to say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. If you said the Shema only in your mind and in your heart, with all the intentions and with all the meditations and all the kavanah, you have to go back and fulfill your obligation by saying and repeating the Shema verbally. So too, by saying the bracha after you eat, when you have to bench after you eat bread, which is a mitzvah of the Torah, you can't just think it. And also all the other blessings, even the ones that are rabbinic in origin, and also when it comes to tefillah, sorry, not tefillin, tefillin also, but tefillah. Although prayer is called the service of the heart, it needs to be verbalized and articulated out loud. Let's say a person said the words verbally, but he didn't have all these kavanas. Even though obviously it's important to have concentration, dedication, meditation, contemplation, whatever other shins you want to throw in there, nevertheless, he still fulfilled the mitzvah if he said it out loud. Except for Levad b'pasuk rishon shel kriyishma baracha rishona shel tefillah shmona esrei. When it comes to the first verse of Shema and the first blessings of Shmona Esrei, here the law requires a person to repeat it if he didn't concentrate. But everything else, as long as you said it, even if you didn't concentrate, you're still covered. Again, that's not the best way, but it's still, you get away with it. It is, again, if you have concentration, but you don't say the words, no good. If you say the words, but you don't have concentration, it's okay. Obviously, it's better to have concentration. And we're talking about all the blessings and all the prayers and all the different things, except for the Shema Yisrael, the first verse, and the first part of Shemona Esrei, the first verse. What happens when you have concentration? Where is the concentration? In your brain. Where is the neshama housed? Where does it originate? In the brain, as we explained earlier in Tanya. And then it goes down into the heart, and it goes throughout the entire body. So he says here, why? Why is it okay just to say the words and not have concentration? Not that it's okay, but you're still yaitse, you still fulfill your obligation. But if you just have in mind and you don't articulate the words you don't, it's because the divine soul itself does not need an elevation or any fixing itself. Why? Because it's a portion of God. It's dafka through the physical body. The goal of the mitzvah is to draw down godliness to perfect the vital soul and the body. The nefesh habahamis, the nefesh hachiyunis, the soul that gives you the strength to live and to breathe and to be alive. But the neshama is a portion of God. It's perfect in and of itself. I'm sorry, Behei, Moitzoi Sapeh, I do that mistake every single time. Moitzoi Sapeh, V'chein, B'mitzvahs Maisiyah, Shenefesh Oisa B'shara Evrei Aguf. How do we uplift the physical body? By means of the letters of speech, starting with speech. Then we have action. But the letters of speech which the soul utters by means of the 5 organs of verbal articulation and through the mitzvahs of action, which the soul performs by means of the body's other organs. Again, the soul might be doing the mitzvah, the soul is initiating this, bringing down godly light into the world, but it needs the physical body. It needs the hand to put on tefillin. It needs the head. It needs the word to come out of your mouth, through your lips, through your tongue, through your palate, through the teeth, everything else that's involved in saying the words of the Shema and everything else. But we just said that your yaitse, you're fulfilling your basic obligation. If you say the words, but you don't have intention and you don't have concentration, kavana. But if you do that without kavana, then it's like a body without a soul. It's lifeless. Or as we're going to explain later on, and Tanya explains, it's like a bird without wings. What's a bird without the wings? It's a rat. It just bops around and runs around. I don't know if it's a rat, but you know what I mean. It's a little animal that's able to run around, but a bird is supposed to fly. So I'm jumping the gun a little bit here, but here it gives an example of a body without a soul. Maybe it's alive, maybe it's accomplishing something, but if a person comes to a job site and his job is in customer service and he says all the right things, but he has no energy and he has no life, and his eyes look gray and dull, you're not gonna. It's just not gonna work out. Pirush. So this comparison of the words to prayer and a body without kavana or with kavana to a soul means as follows. Every single creature in this world, including material objects, but we're not getting into that now. But every single creature in this world possesses a body and a soul. Shem nefesh kol chai v'ruach kol basar ish v'nishmas kol ish. I'm sorry, v'nishmas kol asher ruach chaim ba'apav mikol balei chaim. Meaning the nefesh of every living being, there's some kind of vitality, some kind of energy that's keeping it alive. So the ruach of all flesh and the neshama of all that has breath of life in its nostrils among the living creatures, how does it get there? Hashem, forgive me if I got this wrong before, because this is the same vav hey with a little apostrophe. So sometimes Hashem and sometimes it's the hey, number 5. That's what we just did before. Hashem mechayes kulam. Mahava oisa me'ayin liyesh tamid ba'or v'chayus mashpia b'hem. God animates them and creates them constantly out of nothingness by the light and vitality which He bestows upon them, meaning upon both the soul and the body, in support of His contention that the body too has a godly life force aside from the soul. So the Alter Rebbe adds now, I'm sorry, Avonim va'ofar v'hadoimi mamish. As I mentioned previously, for a moment, I just said that it's not just the animals and the creatures, but even the material body, and furthermore, the very stones and earth, which are completely inanimate, lacking that sign of life found in plant life, and even whatever growth, grass, or, but then you have a rock, doesn't seem to be alive at all. It has light and vitality from Hashem, otherwise it would disappear. It wouldn't exist. The Alter Rebbe now explains that nevertheless, despite the fact that body and soul are alike and that they both contain a life force, a divine life force, there's nevertheless no comparison or similarity between the quality of the light and life force radiating in the body and the life force radiating in the neshama, which is the soul of every living thing. So we have life in our physical bodies, just like the table and the floor and everything has to exist, even though it doesn't seem alive. But obviously there's no comparison with the life that's given and the life of a soul, a life of the neshama, that's a portion of God. So the takeaway is your actions have a body and a soul, the dry action and the heart behind it. So you can do the action, yes, it's done. but there has to be the soul with it also. The dry action is important. It affects the physical. But without the soul, it's a dead action. It exists, but it's without luster. We have to have chayas, we have to have energy, we have to have the neshama involved in every single mitzvah that we do, just like we have to serve Hashem with joy. Yes, we completed the month of Adar. Yes, we're in the month of Nisan, but we have to infuse the month of Nisan also with joy, and that's going to bring the Geulah closer. Mitzvah Hashem, may it be God's will that it happens very, very soon. And that way we'll be able to keep Pesach in Jerusalem with the new Beis Hamikdash. Welcome Ziv, welcome Yuda. Hope you feel good. And Randy and whoever is iPhone Max Pro. Sei gesund, everyone. Have a wonderful day.